Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
From the results page you can click View Security, and I mean for the specific securable item you would like to evaluate. So it's like a free-form search. It's like our Google. So let's say I want to find out what is the permission for emergency contacts. Who has access to emergency contact? Or maybe I need access for a certain group to emergency contact, so I need to check whether they have access to it. Okay, or if they have to be given permission. You see, I'm not specifying the domain name. I do not know the functional area name. I only know the field where I need access. Right, I need to know that. So I click on OK. I enter the data, and I click OK. Let's see if it can find something for me. So it says there are a few tasks that have the word emergency contacts in it, like change emergency contacts, get change emergency contacts, OK, add emergency contacts, and so on. So there are some tasks, right? Who can change emergency contacts? Who can do this? How do we know? How can we find out? We can click on View Security. Click on View Security. Now, if I do that, can you tell me who can do it? Who can change emergency contacts? A whole bunch of security groups, right? Office managers HR partners. Well, these are all for testing, actually. People just copied it over and over and over again. Now, so HR partner, HR administrator, has access to change business emergency contacts, right? And I want to show you something specific. No, anyway, leave it. So these HR managers, office managers, HR partners, senior HR partners, they are able to change the emergency contacts of workers. What is the functional area? What is the functional area for this? Contract information. Did I know that prior to coming here? I mean, did I enter it somewhere? I didn't. I didn't have to because it found it for me. Okay, now change my emergency contacts is another task. Now, who should have access to that? Change my emergency contacts. The employee himself. The employee or the contingent worker. I mean, all users should have access to do that, right? So let's see. I will click on View Security. Do you look? Can you see the security groups who have access to do that? Interesting ones, right? Contingent worker is self. Contingent worker is self. Employee is self. Pre-contingent worker is self. Pre-employee is self. Retiree is self. These are the groups, security groups, who will be able to do that. So if I say change my contact information, will I be able to change the contact information of my colleague? If only I have access. Do I have access? If you look at this, do I have access to it? I don't. If I say change my contact emergency contact, I can only change mine because employee is self. You can only change yours. You cannot change other people's. Right. Got the idea. You see that it's secured. It says this initiating action. Somebody has to initiate the task. Who can initiate it? It is contingent worker as self-employee, as self and retiree and so on. But everything is as self. Right. So you can do your own. You cannot do for somebody else. Now who has access to view that data? Emergency contacts. So let's see. Let's dig into this further. Let's scroll down. And you see that there are some report fields. There is some fields. A report field will contain the data. Right. The actual data. So now let's say this one. Emergency contacts report field. This is the field. Okay, it contains the emergency contacts of the worker. That is the description. And it is multi-instance. So there can be more than one emergency contacts. And in the field name also says contacts. So it is more than one. And who has the security to see it? So you can go to view security. Right. Let's find out. And if I go to the domain, and if I go to, let's say, domain and view security policy. It's view the security policy and say, and find out. Now who has access to view? HR Analyst Manager. Can they change it? Only view. Only view. Only view. They can only view it. They cannot change it. Now what about the integration permissions? The integration permissions gives them access to view it as well as change it, but this is to be done via the integration. From the screen, from the UI. You're not allowed to. I mean, we don't the HR Analyst Manager or the manager, unconstrained. They don't have the authority or the security permission to change the emergency contacts. What if I want to allow the manager to be able to edit this? Then what should I do? I want the manager to be able to edit the emergency contact information of a worker. Because COVID times might be helpful. So what should I do here? How do I edit this? How do I allow the manager to be able to modify the emergency contacts? We need to give a manager certain extra permissions. Like modify permission. The modify permission right. The modify permission. So when we are talking about the things in Workday, let us try to use the terms that we use for Workday. Okay. I'm not picking on anybody, I'm just saying that this will help us talk in Workday's terminologies, right? That has a huge impact when we actually go to face the interviews, right? So in this screen, we have the answer right here on our screens. So what access would the manager need to be able to change the emergency contacts? Modify access. Modify access right. And how do we do that? How do we give them modify access? Let's see if we have the options. So we can go to the related actions. Yes. And then let's try to find out, right? Domain security policy edit permissions. Right. This should be the case. And it also says that the policy is not enabled. Right. It's suspended. So maybe we have to enable the policy as well. Right. First, let's enable the policy.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@uptalk.com.